So Jayla is slightly dune challenged.
On what?
Dune challenged. We've been in the desert for 5 days now, and just check out these mountains. Before we did anything like this, and when it was just an idea to do traveling, this is exactly what I imagined, just being for free on BLM land, somewhere in the desert, next to mountains. So we're not too far out there in terms of being in the middle of nowhere. If you can see, there are power lines over there. We actually did go on a hike a couple days ago. I went all the way out there towards the mountains, and then Jayla later joined me, so we did about 5 miles just walking along the power lines and the service roads. So yeah, as you can see, it's a little developed here. We're not too far out from a city. We're just south of Alamogordo, and the reason we're here, or at least part of the reason, is that we're waiting on our Amazon packages, and there's an Amazon locker right in the city. Eventually we will be further out away from everybody, but this was a nice in-between. The mountains you're seeing over there, those are part of the Lincoln National Forest, and we did go there for one night, but we just didn't have signal there, and we weren't prepared for that. We needed signal to make the videos and do a little more research before we hunker down somewhere where there's absolutely no service. It was just so bizarre that right here, the hottest day we had is 93, and when we drove in there, it was about 10 to 15 degrees cooler, and there were still signs out for icy roads, and it was just crazy. I just didn't know how quick a desert can turn into a forest.
So this is my first time really doing anything like this. I've never camped in a tent outdoors, let alone stay in a desert for almost a week. And what has surprised me the most is the weather. We love this kind of weather. It has been in the 80s, the high 80s. One day it did go above 90. It was 93. And it got pretty warm to where we had to turn on the generator to turn on the AC. Otherwise, when it's in the 80s, this is actually what me and Archer prepared for. This is what we wanted. I know not everyone's the same, but we've been doing pretty well out in this weather. It's also the desert in New Mexico, and so it's not as humid. So the heat doesn't feel as smothering, if that makes sense. It's been really comfortable. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that we're not completely alone out here. So we've had some neighbors. I don't know if you can see in the distance, but these people, we haven't met them or talked to them, but they're also camping on this BLM land, and they've been here for as long as we have. So we feel really comfortable and safe. We're not completely isolated. Over here by the mountains is actually a state park campground. We walked over there the other day when we went on a hike, and there were probably about 30 sites. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, and yet we still have company, we still have neighbors.
There's a hill over here, and I can get on it, so let me show you kind of the area, and you get a good look of where we're at. Okay, so I got up, and in the distance over there, you can see the campground that Jayla was talking about. There's some RVs up there, and they're camping, but it's paid. It's about $10 a day, and we're just so close, literally a mile away. There's just no point. We get the same views. We just don't get any of the amenities, but that's why we prepared our RV to be good at boondocking, is what they call it. We're just camping without any services. We have plenty of water, plenty of propane, gas, food, everything we need. And here's a good look at the neighbors that we have right now. Also, when it comes to BLM parking, you just got to make sure that you're on BLM land, and if there's existing roads or little side pockets where people used to park, then you're allowed to park there. We're kind of in this cul-de-sac. There's not much to it. It's just really cool. We can drive up and just park, and that's it. And we can be here for 14 days and then just move. If we want to stay longer, we can move about 25 miles away to another BLM site, or not just the site, it's more land. I mean, this area is about 200 acres where we can camp, for free. But if we do want to stay somewhere else, just move 25 miles away and then you can stay for another 14 days. Another thing I discovered yesterday actually is that there are long-term zones where you can stay for months at a time. They're in Arizona and California. So I'm kind of interested to check those out because those might be more like communities or like little cities, and that's just interesting to see.
One thing that I knew I would be excited about or looking forward to, but couldn't really imagine until I was actually in it and living it, is seeing the stars at night. It is so clear out here, and so you spin this into night and you can see pretty much every star with the naked eye. You don't need a telescope, even though I do want to get a telescope eventually. It's just been so cool.
Also, just quick, I wanted to make a comment about my hair, and that Jayla actually did a really good job cutting it. I'm very happy with the results, and we saved like $50 by doing it. She was definitely afraid at first, but I don't know. I'm just kind of in this like I just don't care anymore. So if it looked bad, it'd just grow, and it's been about a week, and it looks fine to me. And pretty sure I'm gonna get another haircut from her soon. We're leaving Dog Canyon BLM campground and gotta get some water, gotta pick up our Amazon packages in the nearby city, and then we're going to White Sands National Park. I've been thinking about this park for the last 2 years since I've seen it in some pictures somewhere online, and I just can't believe we're finally going there. Amazon lockers are really nice if you're traveling. You can ship stuff pretty much anywhere in the country.
Nothing like Monahans. Monahans looks like dirt.
Yeah. We made it to White Sands, and we're gonna take some trails and explore some dunes. We're not gonna sled this time or anything like that. I'm trying to minimize the sand and how much we bring back to the RV. There's a 8-mile road that goes into the dunes, and the first half of it is paved, and then the other half is just packed sand. So I'm excited to drive on the sand. But first we're gonna do a boardwalk and just kind of explore the area. Wow, this is so cool. If you're just driving and you kind of look up real quick without paying attention, it just feels like snow. The pictures did do it justice. It's just as white as the pictures were.
We made it to the end of the boardwalk, and it's so pretty out here. What they do have at the end is all this information about like how the park formed, and we really enjoy and appreciate the history lessons along the way.
It just gives me a really weird feeling knowing that at one point half of Texas was underwater, and that then it was dry, and then Austin was underwater too at some point. Alright, that was the easy part. Now we're gonna leave the boardwalk and find a trail that goes up the dunes. I wanna climb some dunes. Putting on flip-flops this time because don't want sand in my shoes again. We're starting on the Alcali Trail, but we're not doing the whole thing. It's like at least 4 miles. You just want to climb some dunes and just get some good views and pictures. Wow, just what an incredible view. You got super white sand and just the mountains in the background. I've read that you can actually camp out here somewhere, like backcountry, backpacking tent, but I think they're closed or they're not doing that right now. So Jayla is slightly dune challenged. Yeah, once you get over here, the sand is very weird. You like step on it.
Ew. It's like stale.
Right? It's like sand chips. I didn't know they had like a black diamond for a sand dune trail. It's like skiing. Ah, this hurts to walk on. If only I had some shoes. And that's it. Just that fast, the dunes are gone, and it's just back to desert. We just made it to Truth or Consequences, and we're stopping at another Walmart. And this one has something really cool. Look at all these solar panels in the parking lot. So we were just at Walmart, but then we realized, oh, it's our anniversary tomorrow and we can actually spend money on occasions. So we're leaving Walmart, getting some food, and then going to a state park nearby where hopefully we'll have a view of the lake. I guess we were so focused on just getting free campsites the whole time, and it was kind of like a challenge, like a game for us to see how much money we can save or not spend at all. So yeah, we just totally forgot we can spend money on like certain things like our anniversary. It's almost 4 o'clock and we've been in bed all day watching Netflix. Just taking some time to relax. Now we're gonna go out to the lake because we thought we should at least come out to it and enjoy the scenery. What's up? We found some shade in these interesting bushes, so just gonna sit here and enjoy the view.
It is a gorgeous day out here in New Mexico. And I'm just so happy that we did this. It's very surreal to just know that you can, come out and be next to a lake at any time, literally any time that you choose, any time of the day, any time of the week. You can be at any location, and I feel like this is just what we worked so hard for, and we finally made it. We're just very fortunate and super happy that we're on this journey right now.
This is really cool. It's a natural hot spring right overlooking the river. We have mountain views and there's an infinity edge right there. The pool is pretty hot, but they